Chapter 2, Working with Files. In this chapter, we're going to work with AutoCAD 2022 to be able to name drawing files, be able to use file-related dialog boxes, use Windows to right-click shortcut menus, create new drawings, open and close drawings, save as, understand partial open, and be able to use good file management techniques. Drawing names and files. As we start to work with AutoCAD, when we start a new drawing, we'll get a .dwg file extension. So if we have a drawing that's already open, we can use a save as, and we can save the drawing as different types of formats. We can save them as drawing files, which would be a .dwg. We could save them into a web format, DW, I'd have to check on that, and then drawing templates, DWT, and then there's other formats, like if we were to export it to a format like an STL format for 3D printing, we can do that also. As we go through in the navigation box, when you save a file, you'll be able to see a glyph of it, hieroglyphic, an image of that file. You can use different Windows shortcut menus as well. Different ways to start new drawings. If you type in the word new, or if you select Control-N, it will bring you to the template page where you can create a new drawing. AutoCAD.dwt is the default. So if we go into AutoCAD, and we were to say, hit the big red A here, new drawing, it'll ask us which template we would like to use. AutoCAD is the default, it's blank. If I wanted to change my screen background, I can right click, go to Options, Color, and set it like that. Turn off my grid. We prefer to use the template files that are located within the D2L. So if I go to D2L and I go to title blocks, we have 3 different title blocks that we'll be using for this class. In Module 1, we'll be using the plate title block. And this is just a warning that says that every drawing that we use with AutoCAD student version will be marked as student version. And so here's our title block template that we'll use. You can see that it says AutoCAD plate title block.dwg. And then if I wanted to use a mechanical title block, I could go and I could download a title block for mechanical. If I choose the DWT and download that and open it, it begins the AutoCAD title block, and then I can use a save as and save it as a name. When you use a template file, it defaults to a DWG file extension. It's kind of a blank canvas, and then we could use a file save as. And so, for example, if I wanted to save this, I could save it as my initials -lab2. And then it would be a DWG file that I can then use to turn in my drawing work. And then architectural title blocks. So as we work with these different title blocks for our CAD course, the architectural title blocks are set for architectural drawings. If we look at the units are set in architectural units, which would measure things in feet and inches. If I look at the title block for the mechanical units, that's set for decimal, and this one is set in imperial inch units. So these are the template files, and I was demonstrating how we can use the AutoCAD plate template for our CAD class, or the mechanical, or the architectural. We can do some customization here as well as we go through and set up the different defaults for the CAD system. This is the options dialog box, and it'll allow us to do things as far as setting up where our templates are going to be. If we choose to open a file, we can select the open and then navigate to the file that we want to open. You can use this file finder. I typically do not use that. It'll keep a history of your recent files. You can use the save command, Control S, to save the file. Q save, quick save, Control S. Save as if you want to change the name. And then there's different formats. And so if somebody has an older version of AutoCAD, say something that's 10 years old, you can save it as 2013, 2010, because just like automobiles, not everybody has a 2022 or 2023 vehicle, and some of the CAD softwares aren't compatible backwards. And so you have to save them so that somebody with an older version can open it. So for example, if I'm working on 2023, and I want to send a drawing to somebody who has 2013, I would save it down to that version so that they can open the file. Closing, if you type in close, it will close the drawing. It'll ask you if you'd like to save it. Close all will close all of the open documents, open drawings that you have. Exit will allow you to exit. Quit. Same thing as closing. It'll allow you to exit the drawing editor. Partial open will allow you to open certain features. So you can open a drawing and open only certain layers. So if a drawing is really massive, you might just want to open up the floor plan layer and some of the details for that, rather than opening all of the components like furniture, HVAC, and things like that. Recovery, sometimes the drawings will fail when we try to open them. Recovery will repair damaged files. Drawing properties will give you information about that drawing. And so if I were to look at the drawing properties, you can put things in here like who the customer was that the drawing was created for. It's a good way to organize the files on a higher level. So if you're working for a company and then you're working on certain machine designs for certain companies, you can save those files and put that attribute information within the drawing, so that if somebody opens it up a couple of years later, they have a history that tells them about the drawing. Backups. You can set the AutoCAD options to create automatic backups every 10 minutes. This is a great idea because we all know that every once in a while things don't always work and we'll lose our drawing file. And so if we're working on a drawing, so for example, if I'm working on this plate drawing, I right mouse click, I go to options, open and save. It will allow me to save the drawings in these different formats. And then here's my file save automatic. Every 10 minutes, it'll create a backup with a .bak extension which I can then restore if anything happens to my drawing file. Drawing file management basically allows us to go through and be able to manage these different drawing files. And there's all kinds of tools within AutoCAD for that. Okay, that's chapter 2. I'm going to save this video and post it in the D2L.